break. The two riders got away. That's Ross Fawcett from the UK Pedicure team, and then Conor Davies, the local last for stage up. And there's a group of 10 then at 18 seconds following them. Chasing them fast as well. So all the action will be happening to see the riders. Killarney. That's all the cooperation as well. So they'll swing sharp right there, as you can see, and head down into Kearns Village and across underneath the railway tracks, cross the flyover, then hint for Ballyfinane, up into Fireys, and of course then into Milltown, and then they'll be on the new road. It'll be very interesting to see what the riders make of that new road from Milltown into Killorglin. It will be a beautiful day today for it. Climb up one side and down the other. There should be big crowds. There was huge crowds out in Fossa, big crowds out on the climbing tour in Cahill as well, and Scatterglen always has a big crowd, so can't be too far away from the riders. That group of 6 are leading the way, including Ben Healy from Cycling Ireland, Sean Hassey, Daniel Bingham, Alex Lurs from Team Ribble, Sven Brockhart from West Frisia, and of course Paddy O'Brien, who is riding with Killarney CC. So good to see him up front and chasing those, a bunch of 17, including our own Killarney's Conor Kissan, riding for Cycling Ireland, and Richard Mays, the other Killarney rider, riding for Strata Vela Revolution. As I said, he has 2 riders in that bunch of 17, so if they can start working together, they can start closing down that gap of 1 minute 30, and the peloton is 3 minutes 30 behind that 17. So we shouldn't be too long now, and we'll be back as the riders pass us. One minute and 55 now the front group have got, so they're beginning to open up that lead over the chasing group of 17. 1 minute and 55, possibly enough to stay away. And of course after this we will be live from the finish in Killorglin today, and live from every finish, where we will film the finish live, and then we will have interviews with the guys who will be wearing the jerseys on the day. So next of the lead cars coming through, race director Tig Moriarty in that one. So once you see Tig passing, the rest of the race won't be too far behind him. Huge undertaking to put on the Kerry Group RAS Mumhan. As I said, 152 riders, huge amount of volunteers and stewards, and the Gardaí who are out, and County Council and everybody out helping. And of course always thanks to the residents from the roads, who because it's open road racing, so the drivers and the motorists and everybody who cooperate with the race is great to see. As I said, tomorrow we will be in North Kerry and into Tay, and then on Sunday down in Valencia and Waterville, and then after that we will be in Killorglin and Beaufort on Monday, but more about that later. So lead cars passing, motorbikes passing, riders can't be too far away. There's Fiona, who's on the tweet if you're following the race on the tweets, just gone past you there, and John Breen. Here you are, here are the leading group of 6 riders, so they've been away for a good bit. And there's Paddy O'Brien leading the way in the Killarney colours with their team cars following them. So great to see Paddy O'Brien, the pocket rocket, and they have that lead of 1 minute 30, so they're allowed team cars coming behind them if they do need service. In that group, as I said, Paddy O'Brien in the Killarney colours, the first man through, followed by Ben Healy from Cycling Ireland, Sean Hassey from Dan Morrissey, and then the 3 Dutch riders, Daniel Bingham, Alex Lurs from Team Ribble, and Sven Brockhart. And with 1 minute and 55 now to the next group, there will be a little bit of a gap. But it's a big gap now to start closing. Anytime you open a gap of over a minute, you really do have to start working very hard to close down that gap. And it does look like that 1 minute and 55 could be enough to see those 6 riders, if they do right together, to stay away. So as you can see, the guards will let some of the traffic through now while there's a gap, because we don't want to be holding up things. And we will have that next group of 17. We'll see how they are riding together. In about just over a minute they should be coming along. So we'll see the rest of the head car, or the lead cars coming, and then we will have that group of 17, and then 3 minutes back to the peloton with all the rest of the riders. So with the lead group now heading into Kearns, they only have 25 kilometres to go. It's a short spin back to Killorglin, even though there is a good drag from Kearns all the way over through Ballyfinnan and that. A couple of more lead cars and motorbikes, so that second group of 17 shouldn't be too far away. Here they come, you can see them in the distance. They are beginning to ride together, seeking they close down that gap of just almost 2 minutes. Great to see Conor Cassan in there in the Irish jersey, and Richard Mays in their Stratavella Revolution team. So they do need to start working together to close down that gap. And we have a couple of minutes before the rest of the big group will come through. So as I said, if you just lined on, we're with Full Time Productions. We're with the race for the 4 days. First time we've ever streamed it live. So hopefully you're enjoying it out there and following it on the tweet machine. 6 riders have gone through. They have 1 minute and 55 gap to that group that have gone through there. A group of 17 with Conor Cassan and Conor Hennebury. Richard Mays in there as well, and Mark Dowling. And we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. We'll see the full group going through, and then we'll be heading straight into Killorglin for the finish. I think about a minute, if my timings are right, we should see the last big group going through. So they're really at this stage are probably looking just to conserve energy, to ride in, stay within the time, not lose too much on the first day, because they have another 400 kilometres to go over the next 3 days. So you really don't want to be using all your energy if you're not pushing for a stage win today. Of course, you won't win the race today, but certainly you can have a good time and put you up there and give you a good lead. So interesting who does take that jersey on the first day of the race, the first stage sponsored by O'Sullivan Cycles. And of course, as Mary and Michael Concannon and all the organisers tell me, don't forget the sponsors, because without the sponsors you couldn't have this. Kerry Group, of course, the big one, but loads of other sponsors on the stages. We'll mention those during the 4 days. The motorbike marshals, who are having a nice time in the weather this year compared to some of the years they've been out. And you couldn't run a race like this without the marshals. They are excellent how they do. Hopefully this tractor now pulls out of the way, because we don't want him slowing down the group. He'll probably just will be gone in time. As you can see, the marshal is trying to direct him. So he'll be pulling off out of the way, hopefully with the cooperation. Yeah, perfect. He's gone out of the way. So here's the lead cars for the big group. So these will be coming fast, and it's a sharp turn to the right off the main road and onto the narrow roads at Kearns. So hopefully every rider gets through safely. So 1 minute and 30 the leaders have gone through, and then the group of 17 after them. And here comes the big group of all the rest of the riders in it. About 3 minutes and 30 down at the moment. So they're really going to have to work if they want to catch that other group. As you can see, they're working together, but they're not going to expend too much energy. First rider gives a little signal there to everybody else, and they'll all swing to their right. These guys know what they're doing. These are all elite riders. So there they are. That's the main group gone through. couple of riders off the back, but they'll probably catch on as well. And they're all the team cars. So from us here on the turn off to Kearns, 6 riders ahead, 17 following. The group has gone through. We'll see you in Killorglin. The 3 boys that have got that lead, there was a group of 6 when we were last with you in Kearns, inside the last kilometre now, and it's Alex Lurs, Daniel Bingham, the 2 English guys. I think I called them Dutch earlier on, so I apologise for that. They're actually English guys. And Ben Healy from the Irish cycling team. Just about, here's the lead car coming through them. So once John Mangan passes, here we go. Here we come the 3 riders. Who's going to win the first stage of the Kerry Group? RAS Mumhan. They're up the hill inside the last couple of, and it's going to be one of the English riders, 1 and 2 for the English riders. And there he is, number 26. We'll find out exactly who he is. Alex Lurs takes it from Daniel Bingham. So the rest you should be seeing, hopefully. Some of the Kerry riders coming through with Conor Cassan and that in the group coming shortly. There isn't too long. We keep the cars moving there, please.
The second, not Nabool, I think it is. Cat 2, Daniel Bingham was first over that. Alex Lures was second, Bill Healy third, 7 Brookhart, and then the Poppin Rocket O'Brien. He was in that one. The next one,
so that group were away for most of the day, a group of 6, and then they split into that group of 3, and they jumped clear just on the way past Ballyfinane and got clear and stayed clear, and they've had a good lead now. In fairness to them, they're going to have probably 30-40 seconds, maybe a bit more by the time we come back tomorrow. So we're waiting for the rest of that group to come in. So here's the next lead car, so we shouldn't be too far away. So Alex Lures and Daniel Bingham through, and Ben Healy. So who's going to take 4th? The rest of the riders are really going to have to ride now to keep that gap as close as they can tomorrow as we head out to North Kerry. And then into, here we go with the next rider. Next rider's coming through. We should have two riders at least. The rest of that group away, there were 6. They've been caught up with some of the group that were there. The group of 17 have caught the group of 2 that are away. So here's 4th place, yeah. So a big group of riders coming through here. There's 4th place over the line. And then the rest of it. And Paddy O'Brien is in that group there as well. Mark Dowling, of course, Mick Dowling's son there. And Paddy O'Brien in there. I think Richard Mays could be in there as well, but we'll clarify all that later on. So that group caught up with some of the remains of the 6 that were away. And then we will have splits in the rest of it. So we will have the rest of the riders coming through. 100 kilometres done and dusted, so another 400 to go. So we will get an interview with Alex Lurs when we get a chance in a few minutes before the presentation to see how they get on. 2 teammates away together always does help, and the boys rode well together. And it was Alex Lurs came up the hill faster than anybody else, and he took the stage.
A lot of pros in here, and a lot of lads that were on the second, and they might have just not got teams this year, and they're back riding full time. So he's that was here Liam Houlihan there of Houlihan coaching race team.
So there's going to be gaps there tomorrow. So the leaders probably have 30-40 seconds. Maybe we'll get a timing later on. And then you have that group of 20 that came after that. So the rest of the riders are going to be racing hard inside the last kilometres to see where they can get in. They don't want to lose too much time.
5 minutes behind, there was about 40 riders in that group. There's 150 riders started today.
So once again, great to see in Killorglin the crowds out and all the help from all the marshals all day. That's passing in front of the camera there, John Breen, Commissar. Of course, races like this don't run without a huge amount of people behind them. Commissars and timekeepers keeping an eye on everything that's going on. So we're just waiting for the next bunch of riders to come through in a few minutes. You'll hear the whistles.
It's going to be a lot tougher.
So we can find Alex Lurs. We'll have a word with him. He should be back down the next couple of minutes. And of course, tomorrow we start at 11 o'clock in Listowel and cross the border into West Limerick to finish in Atay.
And if you're watching
Sunday.
RTE News tonight,
Yes.
Sports News, at about 6:15, you'll have the finish here. The finish will be on the television. You won't see too many races in Ireland having that type of service. There's always with RAS Mumhan.
So hopefully we'll find the winner in a few minutes and have a word with him as we wait for the next group to come in. Of course, the thing about this race is on open roads. So as you can see, cars and trucks and a holiday weekend. Kerry is very, very busy, so we do appreciate all the cooperation by the motorists on the road. So we're about to see our next group of riders coming through. So hopefully none of them are going to get held up in the gap. There is a big gap inside 1k for the rest of the bunch. So
inside 1k, he's on radio communication.
So hopefully we will keep this clear for the rest of the riders that are coming in.
That's all John out there on the street directing traffic. Inside 1k, all riders within 1k.
I just have Sean Moriarty here beside me. Sean, PRO of the Rally of the Lakes. Sean, a bit different rallying and cycling.
I'm a big fan of both sports, so it's great to see another major event in the county taking place just 2 weeks before our own major event. It's a fantastic occasion, great to see so many people here in Killorglin enjoying the cycle racing, and we'll see a bit more high-powered, high-speed action in 2 weeks' time.
The only difference, Sean, is you have closed roads and we have open roads.
I can see that there's a lot of mixing and matching, trying to get the competitors through, and the public still roving around. We'd never be allowed to do that, but it's working fine. Yeah, it's working fine.
Thanks, Sean. Here we go. Rest of the riders coming through. Here's a big bunch. Here's the big bunch there. Here we go. Most of the riders. Every second does count in this. So obviously with the traffic jam, they all have to be watching. Keep over the side of the barrier. All home. Yeah. There's the whole lot of the 152 riders started out today, and you would have the majority of them home at this stage now as they come across the line. One or two still to come, so they will all get their times later on. Sleeve Luca rider Richard Cleverly was crossing the line there, so we will try and get the winner if we can, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes to have a word with him. Richard, Killarney man back in Killorglin. How was the first day for you? Of course, you're riding with Stratavella Revolution now.
Yeah, today was hard. It was very windy out there, even though it wasn't really forecasted. But I suppose when you get up to the hills, you feel the wind, especially coming into Kilcummin. It really split up. I jumped across with 3 or 4 lads, and actually a group of about 20 of us formed, and there was 5 lads away all day. The 20 of us were chasing hard, but we didn't manage to cast the remaining 3. But the race is definitely still open, so it's all to race for tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So
yeah, you're not going to win the race today, but all the thing is not to lose it, so you're still well in contention. Of course, big day tomorrow, and then the big one on Sunday with the Cumann Aspic and everything down in Waterville.
Yeah, I think tomorrow kind of plays out more tactically. It's a more open race tomorrow. I think Sunday then is more of a war of attrition, and kind of the stronger riders come to the fore there, just naturally enough. So yeah, definitely lost. You can lose the race today, but yeah, certainly don't win it today.
And finally, what's the overall plan for the team? Is it to try and get a stage win? Is it to be up there with a team win? What's the plan?
Well, we're just waiting on results there now. Patrick Clifford from our team might be in the Leaders A2 jersey. We're just waiting for confirmation there. We have Liam Curley, who's second under 23 after today, so I'll try still go for stage win as well. So
and plenty to defend as well tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll have to sit down later on and see what we have to do. But yeah, for sure it'll be a hard 3 days ahead of us.
Cheers, thanks. Alex, from the Lake District in England to the Lake District of Killarney, you like coming over here, and you won the first stage.
Yeah, we love it over here. Very much like the Lake District, so it's good riding and we enjoy it.
You were ahead all day, that group of 6, and then you slid up, so it went to plan. Of course, your teammate with you as well, who probably helped.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky that Dan was with me, super strong. So yeah, had a plan to hopefully get away, and then it worked out well that we split it towards the finish.
Yeah, and when you did get away then, that group of 3, you rode hard, and then coming up the hill, you just had a little bit too much for the rest of them.
Yeah, we knew that, first and second in kind of have the benefit, and just got to go full gas, and it was good.
So have you the team tomorrow to defend the jersey?
Yeah, we've got the team. Absolutely got the team.
So we might see you back here on Monday again at the final overall.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Okay, Alex, thank you very much. So we still have riders out there. We have about another group of 20 coming in. So these guys have had a tough day out there, but They will race all the way to keep every second counts, and they'll get on the bikes again tomorrow. So here's the last probably 20. Big round of applause for all the riders on the first stage of the Kerry Group RAS Mumhan. Probably still a few more out there, but that's the most of the riders in here today. So that's it from the first day of live coverage of the Kerry Group RAS Mumhan. Tomorrow we start at 11 o'clock in Listowel. We'll be out around North Kerry and West Limerick, so join us again. And we will have more interviews with people, and we're here for the 4 days. So from today it's Alex Lurs in the leader's yellow jersey. He will start tomorrow. We'll know the times and all that later on. We'll post them up, and we'll be back on again in the morning. Big smile on your face. A2 jersey after the first day. Happy man.
Yeah, thanks very much, Paddy. The team worked very well for me. Richard Mays has been coaching me, and the Velo Revolution team and the Strata team just did a great job pulling me through. They were each able to get me on their wheel, and I was in good shape, fresh, coming up the climbs nicely. So I have the support behind me, and I had a good day.
You probably took a gamble, not a gamble really, moving to this thing, because it is probably a step up, and you really had to put it in, and this is paying off.
It is. I've been putting in a lot of hours, and I ride all season just for this weekend. Every other race is a training race for me, and even if I pull out after 50k, I try not to let my head go. It's the RAS Mumhan, it's what I focus on, and I love riding through Kerry. I ride here every day. There's no place else. Everyone that knows me knows there's no place else I'd rather be. A day out of Kerry is a day wasted.
And finally, tomorrow, have you the team to keep that jersey on your back?
I have. The boys are going to work for me, and we have Liam Curley might have gotten into a top 10 today, and Richard Mays as well, and he'll be looking strong again tomorrow. They have a good gap, so we'll all be able to work together. There's a few guys I'm sure that'll be put on my side and just told to watch for the blue jersey.
Well done, Patrick. Well done today. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Ben Healy of Team Ireland turned over the line, so he'll get his flowers from Stephen O'Sullivan,
back in Kerry again and the usual.
New Business Alliance here. Second over the line, the man from across the pond, from River Pro Cycling, Daniel Bingham.
Well, apparently he got floored. I'm shocked at that. Emily.
And the winner of today's stage, he would be getting a jersey, but that jersey, there's a little more important one for him. So we'll hold the jersey. He should be getting for winning the stage for another few minutes. So the winner of today's stage, the man who's been here before, remember the face, from Ripple Pro Cycling, Alec Lewis. There he is. Was sprint over the line there today. He wasn't going to be. So these are the stage. Anyone want to get a photograph? These are today's second or third, second and first. Go on there, up. Come on, kilometre. Let's hear it from the stage winners, first, second, and third today. Carlton, Chamber of Lights, there, Stephen O'Sullivan did that presentation.
Now we're joined by a sportsman that's probably known better for being in the ring than on the bike, but a regular visitor down here. Your young fella's involved. Mick Dowling, welcome back to Kerry.
Thank you very much. It's always great to come down here to RAS Mumhan. It's in Killorglin here in particular, always great atmosphere. And I'm surprised that my son happened to finish in fourth spot today. So I'm happy with that, and I'm sure he will be happy. But there's 3 more hard days racing before we know who's going to win this event.
But he always puts up a good performance down here. He's always battling for one of the jerseys.
Well, I think it was 2015 he won it. He won it here on the final day, So I've been saying earlier on that I think this race will go down to the wire, and I think it will be won on the final day, not today, not tomorrow, or Sunday. It'll be won, I'm sure, here on Monday.
And from your own sport, everything is going well. A lot of young underage talent there, and of course Katie Taylor as well, and the Olympics coming up, so loads in boxing going on as well.
Yeah, we're always very, very strong in boxing, and as for Katie Taylor, I mean, I would put myself as her greatest fan, I just love her. I think she's such a fantastic fighter and a great role model for any young athlete, not just boxer, but any young athletes in this country. She's the ideal and perfect role model.
But for this 3 or 4 days, it's all about cycling.
I love it here, and down today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll go back on Monday. But I just love coming down here to this event.
Mick, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Of Team Ireland. Stephen is staying with us to do the next jersey again. That's Stephen of the Killarglen Chamber Alliance, and he's going to present the King of the Mountains, the polka dot jersey, and that goes to Rebel Pro Cycling's Daniel Bingham. The king of all those mountains today. That's it, that northern accent there. That's it. That northern accent, the man from Balahi. Doers, but we have a better jersey for him. But that goes to Mark Dowling, son of boxer Mick Dowling, former winner of the race. Huh? Oh, his mother, you're right. So I always said the mother, is she here? No? Oh, I said that's now Mick, I don't forget Mick, but I used to always say about the mother as well. I can't him before. He's in yellow today. And that's Alec Lures of Rebel Pro Cycling. And all the jerseys sponsored by Aidan Trolley of Vela Revolution. So, and that's our yellow jersey. Yeah. The group 4 that got sold out, and we'll have a chat with Alex then. And maybe before we'll have that, we have the most combative prize, and that's going to Bill Healy. The most combative rider. Bill Healy gets a little, yeah. So, come on lads, come on Killarney, let's hear it for the men of the Kelly Group, RAS Mumhan. There they are. The stage winner, Category 2 leader, the under 23, the King of the Hills leader, the Points leader, and the man in yellow. These are the men of the Kelly Group, RAS Mumhan 2019. Stage 1, the precursor of the next 3